functions. The next one is the information functions. So what are the information functions? Information functions are something like is error or is error, is blank. These are the information functions. Is contains and is error, something like that. For example, in the case of is error, I just go and check here. For example, if I want to create a new column, I'm going to create a new column. Click on the new column, new calculated column. I'm going to create it here. I just check the column 6 as something is error sales amount. I just want to check whether the sales amount column has any error in it. If any of the rows has error in it, it will show true. Okay, if there is no error, it will show false. This is basically programmatically to check. False means we don't have any error. Simply click on the down arrow and see, yeah, we don't have any error in this column sales amount, right? So everything is good here. And other situation, what we do is we use if condition along with is error. If is error of sales amount, you put blank, or replace it with by 0, or else fact sales amount. This is basically to overcome the error. Error handling, right? So error handling kind of situation, this is very much helpful. Let us see what happens. Correct, right? So look here, in case of any error is there in this column, replace it with, so there are situations you might tend to have error here. You remember in the past session we have seen it in the Power Query editor, when we converted the sales column into text value, we got some error, right? So in that kind of situation, what we will do is we will handle the error like this. See, in real time scenario, every day the data will come here. So once you write your function, once you write the create the calculated column, everything, right? So even in this case of sales amount, if you have any error, let's say today we are getting a fresh feed from the source system, the fresh feed, which is nothing but the today's sales data file. So when we load it, what will happen is this column, we are going to check whether in this column do we have any error. There could be chances because today we got a fresh new file that has today's sales in it. So maybe in this column it might have some 0 or error. If you have error and if you perform any other further calculation, what will happen is your job will fail. To handle that, what we do is, in case of any error is there in this column, even if there is any error, you replace it with 0 so that my job will not fail. If there is no error, simply you take the sales amount, right? Simply you can do this one. So in the case of calculation, for example, you want to find out the percentage of sales, right? Percentage of sales by each location, right? So what will happen is the sales amount, or let's say you want to find out the total sales. What is the sales contribution by each city or each row. So in that case, total sales amount is your denominator, okay? Or for example, let's say your this record sales amount is for how much you get, 100, right? 100 divided by total sales amount. So what is the percentage into 100? In the denominator, if you get by mistakenly 0, what will happen is anything divided by 0 is 0. Or in the numerator, if you get 0 divided by anything is infinity. It will throw an error. To overcome that kind of thing, right? Is error, you can use it. Is error, the sales amount divided by is error sales amount, replace it with, or is error sales amount divided by your total sales amount. For example, here we have created a measure called total sales, right? So total sales where is the total sales measure is there, right? This I already created. So in case of any error, by while computing this one, right, when you divide this sales amount by total sales measure, if it results in any error, replace it, ignore it in simple way saying that, right, replace that error by 0. Don't say error. If you put error, my job will crash or my report will cause some problem, right? So in that case, what is simply you put something, put some other value here, okay? So in that kind of situation, the isError function is very much helpful. It is an information function. And also you have isBlank function, right? You have isBlank function. In case of any blank values are there, you can replace it by blank value. For example, you remember in this case, the sales by customer. In the last session we have seen it. Sales by customer column has empty string in it in the case of customer name column. Instead of specifying it explicitly, okay, look here, where is that? Sales by customer column. If you see here, in this case we have a blank value. Since it is a text data type, it is not considered a blank, it considered this one as a empty string. So in that case, what you do is, in this case, the customer's name, what we did, if the customer's name equal to empty string, we did this one. It is kind of opposite. In case of any blank values are there, you put blank, explicitly you put blank, okay? For example, here, right, in the sales column, we have some blank values, empty values, null values, right? So replace it with blank, something like that. You can use isBlank function. Try with isBlank function, and also you can check the isLogical, whether the column returns logical or the number data type, whether this given column is a number data type, right? So isText, is this a text data type, something like that. You can test it out. So for example, I just create a new column. So here I am going to say is text, okay, column equal to is text. For example, the column name is customer's name. So the customer's name column, does it having text value in this? Yes, it shows true everything. With this we are able to understand very clearly, even this value also considered as a text, the empty string, hence it returns true here, right? Since it returns true, that means it is not considered a blank. See how much helpful this one, right? And then we have something called username. And username, we will discuss it as part of username, user principal name. These are all the information functions. The username and user principal name, all these things, and selected measure is there. And selected measure also, we will discuss it in the advanced DAX topic. Tomorrow what we will do is we will continue the advanced DAX concepts. Don't miss out tomorrow's session. It's very important. And most likely next Saturday we'll complete entire DAX, okay, all the important DAX functions, including time intelligence functions, all those functions. Next weekend we will complete it. Tomorrow is very important, don't miss out. I'm going to talk about the important concept like evaluation context, row context, filter context, what is calculated column, what is measure, what exactly the difference between these two, and what is calculated table, when we are supposed to use calculated table, when we are supposed to use calculated column and measure. That I'm going to discuss it in tomorrow's session. So with this, I'm going to wrap up today's session. You have any questions so far in today's session? And the past sessions, if you have any doubt, you can send me a message. will try to answer it to you. And today's session, you have any questions